Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday. I hope you're all having a wonderful week. We actually managed to get, gosh, how many videos done this week? 3, I think. 2, 3, I don't know. So we are building a house today, which I haven't done in some time. Like I said in yesterday's video, I did take a little bit of a break from building. Not really, but kind of. I'd class it as a break for me. I used to build every single day, so I did take a couple of weeks off doing so. So it's really nice to get back into it. So anywho, today we are building again for my save file, and we are building for a family of 6. We have 2 parents and 4 children. We've got 2 teenagers and 2 children. The children are twins, a girl and a boy, and we have 2 singleton births, but they're both teenagers and they are a girl and a boy as well. So we've got 2 girls, 2 boys, and we are living in Oasis Springs. So considering I renovated the land grab mansion yesterday, I thought we would continue with Oasis Springs today. So I decided to build a cute little house, and honestly it turned out so cute. So we are using the brand new kit that we got yesterday, which is called the Grange Mudroom kit. I did do a giveaway over on Instagram, so congratulations to that winner. Coincidentally, that person did win both the giveaways just by complete chance. I spun a wheel and they won both of them, so it was their lucky day. But I hope you guys are enjoying it. If you have got it, I'll probably do another giveaway at some point in the future, but that particular one was sponsored by EA, and I was gifted the pack as well, so a big thank you to EA for that, because I still cannot quite believe that I'm an EA partner. I've been an EA partner for like 4 months now, which is insane, but I'm just so blown away still by the fact that I get gifted the packs and I get to do a giveaway for you guys as well, and it's just so nice. So thank you very much, EA. I do appreciate all of your support. It's a little bit sad though, because the roadmap did get leaked to the public, which I feel very sorry for the EA leader, the lady. She is so sweet, and I just really hope that that doesn't jeopardize our chances as creators in the future to get information in advance so that we can plan our videos. It is quite sad when stuff gets leaked when it's confidential, so I really hope it wasn't someone in the community. I don't think everything's been leaked yet, but it is still a shame. I think it's fun sometimes just, you know, knowing something that not everybody else does because of your hard work, and I really appreciate the fact that the EA team incorporate us into, you know, knowing stuff in advance, but you know, there's always some people who ruin it for others. So let's hope that it wasn't someone in the EA creator network, but who knows, honestly. But anyway, back onto the video because I'll ramble forever. I decided to do like not a split level house necessarily, but we did mess around with terrain tools, because I don't usually do terrain tools because it is a little bit fiddly, but I really wanted to challenge myself last night, so I decided that's what I was going to do. So I did decide to do some terrain manipulation. I did have a little bit of trouble with the steps, in case you couldn't tell, so I do end up doing some of it off camera. I did film most of it though, to be fair, but sometimes it's quite hard to film every single part of it because it does get a bit fiddly and it's really irritating. So anyway, I am building, like I said, for my save files. This will be uploaded to the gallery today. I know my apartments I don't upload straight away, so I do apologise that they're a little bit few and far between. I know when you watch a video you just want to go play in it, and I know I don't upload my apartment straight away, but this one will be uploaded today, so I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do play it over the weekend, do let me know what you think of it. I haven't play tested it yet, so do let me know if there's any problems. I will be play testing everything before I upload it to my save file, but I don't necessarily play test before I upload it to the gallery, just because I simply do not have the time to. I really wish I did, but it would take me forever, so I do apologise if anything is a little bit glitchy, but it shouldn't be, but who knows. And like usual, I always forget something, either the alarms, the bins, or the hampers, and I did forget the hamper, so we'll have to go back and alter that. Also, I apologise for the little bit of a pause here. That was me trying to find out about the kits yesterday, because the kits came out last night and I was waiting to give my giveaway code to the winner, so that is why there's a little bit of a pause there. But anyway, so a little bit of the backstory is that the parents met when they were in high school. They met when they were very young, and they were both new to the area. They go, I pretend that there's a high school in every world. I know it's only in Copperdale, but that's a bit boring just to imagine that. So I imagine that they went to Oasis Spring High School, and they were the newbies and they didn't know anybody, and they were paired up together just to, you know, so that they had someone who felt the same as them, and they fell in love. I think maybe they were friends for a while and eventually they fell in love when they were a little bit older, and yeah, it's just the rest is history really. But the dad is into, I think he's a little bit of like an old-fashioned kind of guy. I was kind of imagining perhaps they were like 40 something, so they weren't like young but they weren't old, they were just kind of, you know, almost middle-aged. But they have a lot of like old-fashioned hobbies. So the dad is into fishing, he goes fishing with his son, his younger son enjoys it as well, and his older son is a little bit of like, you know, he's a teenager now, it's not cool to go fishing with his dad, but I'm sure when he's older he'll appreciate it again. So the dad does go fishing with the younger son, but the older one's a little bit like, you know, in those kind of years where he thinks he's too trendy to be able to do any of that. But yeah, so like I said, we do have 2 teenagers and 2 children. The children are twins, girl-boy twins, and then the 2 older ones are individual births. I was kind of imagining that the son was the eldest. I was thinking he was about 16 and the daughter was around 14, and the younger 2 were about 8 years old. I really love this home, honestly. I haven't built like a sophisticated, I say sophisticated loosely, but I really like the style, and I think one of my biggest issues personally with building is that I don't build them compact enough, which is really hard to explain, but I usually, not that I build them too big, but they usually just have a lot of like unused space. Then I think sometimes they can look a bit unrealistic, whereas I think this house looks really real, which I really like. I took inspiration from one of Jessica Pive's videos, so definitely go and check out her content. I absolutely love her builds. I'm very particular about what style I like, but I really enjoy her style. Her and Simlissy are my 2 favourites, so definitely check them out if you haven't already. I'm sure you have. But I really like the style of her build that she did recently, and I like the angle, so I thought, you know, we would give it a go. Obviously it's not exactly the same, but I took inspiration from her and I really like how it turned out. Also, I did have a couple of funny comments on my most popular video, which is on 95,000 now, which to me is insane. I had a comment of someone saying how I was pronouncing something and it was killing them because I was saying it the wrong way. But it's the British version. I was saying, what was the word? I can't even remember. Orientated, but in America it's oriented, which obviously is just doesn't really matter either way, but they were so offended that I'd said orientated. But in British English it is orientated, not oriented, which is really weird. You'd think it would all be the same, but it's not. So I did have a couple of comments this morning that made me laugh because they were obviously offended that I was saying it wrong, but I wasn't saying it wrong, I was just being British. But yeah, anyway, we are now working on the floor plan. I decided to go for quite an open plan floor plan. I really wanted to incorporate the new kit that we got yesterday into the video because obviously that was kind of the whole point. I have been doing a lot of apartments, but I really thought that this kit would really suit a cute little family home, and honestly I haven't done a family home in like a month maybe, so I decided I would do one for today. I really like how it turned out. I think that the colour scheme of this particular house is really cute. Also, I apologise if at any point I do say apartment. I'm just so used to saying apartment, so I may say it. But yeah, so we did get a brand new wallpaper yesterday in the Grange mudroom, and I did incorporate it into the build, but I didn't want to go overboard with it because it is quite an old-fashioned looking wallpaper, and don't get me wrong, I love it, but it is quite oldie worldy. It's kind of more like a grandmother kind of vibe. You wouldn't really see it in a more modern house. However, I still did include it because I thought it was stunning, and I love this paneling. Anything to do with paneling and that kind of like old-fashioned, is it Victorian? It might not be Victorian, but just that old kind of British house style. But I did want to kind of make it like a combination of old-fashioned but with a touch of modern, and I really like this orange. I don't know why, I just feel like it really fits this particular house, and especially in Oasis Springs. So I did have a little bit of a fiddle around with the colour scheme and where I wanted things to go, and then we started on the interior. Now the interior, I did start off start off with the lounge area, and I did include the mudroom items. So these are the items in the new kit. Let me know what you guys think of them. I think they're gorgeous, honestly. So huge props to the creator. I don't know their name specifically. I did know it this morning and I completely forgotten. So congratulations to those creators. Both the kits are gorgeous. I haven't actually played with the cast one yet though, because I have been in build mode since the kits came out, so I will have to check that out at some point. Although I am home at my parents' for the next couple of days, and we have bank holiday here in the UK, so we have Monday off as well, so there will be no video on Monday, but hopefully Tuesday I'll be back. But I really love these items, honestly. I think they're stunning, and this mirror in particular. The mirror is my favourite item. I've used this mirror about I don't know, 10 times in this video, so get used to it because it's in every single room nearly. I just think it's really pretty, and one of my favourite windows in the entire game is the arched window, which I cannot remember what kit it's from, but it's just so pretty, and I did decide to include it in every room because I love it. I had someone else comment that they said that they thought that more than one mirror in a room was kind of creepy, but I find that really strange because my house is full of mirrors. I don't know why, I just feel like it fills up the space. I don't really like pictures necessarily, so I think mirrors just kind of fill in that wall space that's kind of a bit empty, but I don't really like picture frames, so I think that mirrors just kind of add like a bit of decor that I just personally like. If you do download this house and you don't like them, feel free to remove them, but it's just my preference. But anyway, so a little bit of the backstory is that the parents, like I said, met in high school, and they fell in love when they were in the later years in high school, but I feel like they were friends for a while. The mum was a cheerleader and the dad was in the football team, and they were like a classic, you know, American storyline of love story. And then the mum, I was kind of imagining that perhaps the mum fell ill and she had to take some time out of school, but the dad at the time, boyfriend, he did visit her, and they kind of like, you know, rekindled their friendship while she was off because she wasn't very well. I think perhaps she had something that was like, you know, serious. I won't talk about illnesses because I'll probably get flagged or something, but I was kind of thinking that maybe she had something quite deadly, and they sorry, there's a fly in my face and it keeps making me jump. It's not a fly, it's like a really tiny little thing, but I can't see it and then it goes right in my face. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so they rekindled their love. They became a couple after she became unwell, and they were inseparable, and I think she fell pregnant quite young when she recovered from being unwell, and that literally took it all out of her. I think that she was like, you know, I want to have a baby as soon as possible in case something else happens. So I do think she has had a lot of health complications, but they shortly after had their first baby boy, and they had their son at like 19-ish, I'd say, 19, 20, and my voice went weird, and then 2 years later they had their daughter when they were like 21, 22-ish, and they lived happily ever after. No, I was imagining that perhaps the mum still had complications, but they, you know, they make the most of it and they do their best to kind of, you know, keep things as positive as possible. So they do live in Oasis Springs still. They do still live where they were brought up. Their families still live here, so they do live close to home, and their children really enjoy it here. I do feel like perhaps their eldest son has some of his own complications with his health, so they do have a lot of, you know, not issues, but they do have a lot of troubles, I suppose is the correct word, where life is really complicated, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. But I think it's really fun to create more realistic storylines in my builds, personally at least, because I just feel like it just makes more sense. But yeah, I was kind of imagining that perhaps the mum still had ongoing health problems, and the dad was always supportive of her. But yeah, later on they did end up having twins, like how many years later, like 8 years later ish. So there is a little bit of an age gap between the daughter and the twins, but you know, it's fine. But yeah, so I did kind of imagine that they lived in quite a small house, and then the dad got a new job. I was kind of picturing that perhaps he was like the coach of the football team or something. So he didn't make it as an athlete because he focused all of his time on his family and, you know, his partner being unwell, so he did decide that he wanted to coach the team instead, so he does that as his job. And the mum, I was kind of imagining that she was like a baker. She had her own little like cafe in town, and everyone's really supportive of her and really nice. I just thought it was like quite a nice community. I know in reality life's not like that, but it's The Sims, so we can pretend that everybody's lovely. But I do think maybe she has a couple of customers who are a bit like nosy and try and know her business, and they're trying to work out how she's got such a nice house. But I was kind of thinking that perhaps she had a side hustle. She had a side hustle of like, I know this isn't technically a thing you can do in the game, but this is just what I was imagining, that she had like a perfume business on the side that she does at her home, and she's got like a really snazzy office which we're currently working on, and she has a perfume business, and she's got like a workshop elsewhere, and that's how they can afford quite a nice house. I know it's not like a mansion, but is quite big considering. So everyone's kind of in her business, and they kind of speculate that maybe because she had some sort of like really bad illness that she got like a payout for it or something. You know how people are, they just like to assume things, but no, it's just because she's worked hard and she's a really nice person. But yeah, so we are currently working on the office, which I think is where she does most of her business. She does all of the online work and like the marketing for it, and she has a lot of people who co-work with her. I don't think, maybe she doesn't own the perfume business, but she has her own little side hustles, and maybe like the bakery is like her main focus. But I just think she's a really nice person. She's gone through a lot, and it's just, you know, life's hard. But anyway, moving on, we're now working on the upstairs. So this is the teenager's room. She is 14, she likes purple, in case you couldn't tell. I did decide to include this fake fireplace as well because it just felt fitting for this house. I feel like it's quite like an old-fashioned house, but they've kind of modernized it. I really like this room. I think that it's quite nice for a change to do something a little bit more compact, which again is the main thing that I'm trying to work on as a builder personally, is trying to make my builds a lot more compact. I don't make them too big, but I just feel like it's a little bit too spacious, especially with the exterior. I'm trying to make them look a bit more realistic, and I think while doing that, making them a bit more compact in terms of the exterior and the interior, to be honest, is very, very helpful personally. It just feels a little bit more real. I mean, like, you wouldn't have a massive bedroom as a teenager necessarily, so I think this bedroom feels quite realistic, and I really like how it looks, so I hope you guys like it too. But yeah, do let me know what you think of it so far. I didn't really have a specific theme. I just wanted to make it quite girly in this room. There's a lot of makeup and, like, you know, musical stuff. I did think they were quite musical as well. So we do have quite a musical teenage group in this house. The son and the daughter are very musical. They both like guitar. I think perhaps they're in like a band in school. Wouldn't it be cool if we had bands, guys? I so want a band. But anyway, this is the mum and dad's room. I really love how this room turned out. I don't usually like doing the parents' rooms, but I actually really like this room. I think it's the orange, to be honest, the orange glow, and with like the desert, it's just really pretty. And of course we're using the same mirror again, don't judge, I like the mirror. And yeah, so I was kind of on the lines of giving this like a Mediterranean kind of vibe, but not really. I had so many different like aesthetics that I wanted for this house. I think it has a Mediterranean vibe, but also has like an old British vibe, which I know is kind of a weird combination, but I think it works personally. I like how it looks, so I hope you guys do as well. I know it's a little bit strange, but I just think the colour combos and the items just really work well together, but I was just trying to make it as lived in as possible. I didn't want it to be overly cluttered, but I wanted it to feel realistic, and I really do think I did a good job at that, so I hope you guys agree. I did decide to overlap some of the toilet rolls on this cute little stand as well, because I thought that was quite realistic, and I did include these lights, which I don't normally use because they are a bit of an orange glow, but again, this is a very orange house, so I did include it. But yes, so we do end up having 4 bedrooms, and I think it is 4 bathrooms as well. One's not a full bathroom, so I guess 3.5 bathrooms. and we do have a laundry room as well, which I of course forgot the hampers, but I will include before uploading. But I really like it. I think it turned out really nice. But we are now moving on to the twins room. Like I said, I was kind of imagining that perhaps they were around 8 years old. I think they get on quite well. I think they're kind of a bit mischievous, and they have a lot of drama in their school lives. And I don't know whether you guys know the show, but Young Sheldon, I've been watching a lot lately, and I was kind of imagining that they were a bit like that. Not necessarily really intelligent, but just they shared a room together. They're twins. They bicker, but they also really love each other, and they're, you know, really supportive, but they want their own space. And of course they cannot have their own space because you've only got 4 bedrooms, and the teenagers are not going to share. I was also kind of imagining that perhaps the daughter was into gaming and the son was into space and sports, and he really looks up to his big brother. But I think the girls aren't the closest. I think perhaps they are very, very different. I don't think they don't like each other, but they're just very different. They have very different interests, and when it comes to the boys, I think the boys have similar interests. So the younger 8-year-old definitely looks up to his bigger brother, or big brother I should say, not bigger, even though that's still correct as well, but it sounded strange. But yes, he does look up to his big brother, but the brother doesn't really like all the attention his younger brother gives him, because he's trying to be cool. He's not trying to hang out with his 8-year-old brother when he's 16, because he thinks that that's just not trendy. I think perhaps he has a crush on this girl in school, and she is on not necessarily the cheerleading team, but perhaps she's a dancer, and she's very creative, and he's got a guitar, and you know, he's just trying to impress her. So he doesn't really want his 8-year-old brother like hanging on him wherever he goes. So I do think he's quite cute, but I just think it's quite a fun storyline. But like I said, the little brother does go fishing with the dad all the time, so they are out of the house quite a lot, so at least he does get some space from him. But yes, I was kind of thinking that perhaps he was in a band, or he had a guitar and he was trying to impress the girl. But I just really like this whole storyline. I think this house in general is just really nice. It's a really cute and cozy space, and it's, I assume, fully functional. I haven't, like I said, haven't play tested it yet, but I will upload it to the gallery, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. But yeah, so I was also kind of thinking that the mum and the son had like a really close bond. I think that when he was little, of course, she was very unwell, and he's got his own health complications now, so I think she's got a little bit of a soft spot for the eldest son, because he wasn't very well as a child, and she's still battling her own illnesses as well. So I think that they have quite a close connection. I did include this cute little teddy in this room as well, because I was thinking that perhaps the mum gave it to him when he was little, and he didn't want to not have it in his room because he still wants to make his mum happy, but he's still a little bit embarrassed the fact that he has got a teddy in his room, so he did hide it behind the curtain slightly, which I thought was quite cute. But I did try and go a little bit overboard in the clutter in this room, and not too much I suppose, but just a little bit. And I love the Converse that they've now included with the Grange mudroom. I think that's such a cute little touch, so big props to that creator, because including footwear and stuff like that by the front door is always something that I love to include. It definitely gives it a more family orientated vibe to my homes, so I really enjoy that particular item. If you guys haven't already checked them out, be sure to look at all of the content that comes with the brand new kit. It's only £4.99 if you're British. I don't know about in other currencies, but it will equal the same amount. So it's definitely worth it. It's a really cute touch. If you are a builder like myself, it's a really good addition. So yeah, but I am going to end the voiceover because we are coming to the end, and we will have the screenshot soon. We are still working on the cute little deck outside, and honestly, I would love to live here. I just imagine it smelling of like freshly cut grass and just like a bit dusty because it's the desert, of course, and I just really like it. I just feel like it's a really peaceful vibe. We've got the, I will soon be putting up fairy lights, there we go. We've got fairy lights, we've got a barbecue in a second, and I would just love to be sat out there, just nature, peace and quiet and just calm is definitely the vibe for this house. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'll be back on Tuesday for a brand new speed build. I wish you all a wonderful weekend. Like always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We're so close to 10,000 of you, which is insane. So if you guys haven't already subscribed, I'd really appreciate it. And yes, I will see you guys on Tuesday for a brand new speed build. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, my lovelies.